What is up, guys? It is James and I am back with another video. You guys are getting two videos today. I just uploaded my first video to my new series, the JR Trading Academy. Today was day one, and I'm also posting a trade recap, so I'm spoiling you guys a little bit today. So today I kind of want to talk about the trade I took today. Made a little bit over, made $5,895. Gonna do a little quick trade recap. Here we are on Top Step. As you can see, I have $1,179 for my P&L across my 5 phase, and then I'm also copy trading it with my five evals I'm trying to pass. So knowing that I already took 3 payouts from these set of counts, I'm taking a little bit more riskier setups, and I'm also trying to get these evals passed. So this trade right here, I consider this more of an eval trade. This is something I wouldn't take on a fresh set of accounts, but knowing that I already got my return on investments from these set of accounts, I'm trying to just be a little bit more riskier with my trades, try to get the set of evals that I have passed, and then if I pass those, then these are also getting copy traded on my XFAs, which I'm completely fine with blowing, just because I already got my return on investment from those 3 payouts that I already received from these accounts. So this trade is more sort of an eval trade. This is how I like to approach evals. I take a little bit more riskier setups just to try to get the evals passed. But here you can see I took this trade on ES actually. Here's the execution, and we can go over it real quick. So this is why I like trading both NQ and ES, just because sometimes there's not really a certain draw on one of the pairs. On NQ today, there weren't really any draw liquidities that I liked, whereas on ES, there was actually a draw on liquidity that I liked, and I actually took my trades towards. So we'll go over that real quick. And if you don't understand anything I'm really talking about, make sure you follow along on my new series, because I'll be teaching you everything you need to know about day trading, from the very basics to everything that led up to this point in my trading journey. So here we are on Trading View. Let's bar replay. I was actually looking to trade. I usually just focus on NQ, but ES had a better draw liquidity today, so we'll look at both pairs. So let's go to market open real quick. Looking at market open, this was actually where we're currently sitting at market open. As you can see on NQ, I didn't really like what I saw. You can see that we're in obvious downtrend. We have lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower high, and we just created a lower low right here. We just took out a big draw on liquidity right here. As you can see, previous day low was just taken. That was the main draw on liquidity that I would like to target. But after taking a big form of drawn liquidity, you can expect some sort of rebalance. Scaling out, if you go to the daily time frame, there is really no other drawn liquidity lower. The main drawn liquidity lower on NQ is this right here, which is very far. If you take a look, going back to the 4-hour time frame, as you can see, this was about 500 points away, which is very far away for me. So I didn't really like anything I saw on ES, or on NQ I mean. So looking at the 1-hour time frame, if we actually, let's bar replay one more time. 6 a.m. right here. All right. So this is where we were standing at 6 a.m. since I am on the West Coast. So after taking previous day low, not really having any sort of drawn liquidity lower, you can expect some sort of rebalance. If price continues lower, there's really no drawn liquidity to target until you get all the way down here, which is too far for the day. You can't expect that to get hit during the daytime. So I didn't really like what I saw on ES. You can expect, or on NQ I mean, I didn't really know what to expect. The only real thing I could expect is some sort of rebalance into this 1-hour fair value gap right here. So maybe you get a trade into this fair value gap right here that you can target on the 1-hour time frame. But I didn't really like this idea, just because looking at the 5-minute time frame, this was sort of in a choppy range right here. I would rather see some sort of continuations lower, looking at the higher time frame, looking at the 4-hour time frame. I want to see some sort of continuation lower. I don't want to be looking to short term long to some sort of rebalance right now. So didn't really like anything on NQ. So I just decided to see how the day was going. I was expecting a no trade day. I didn't really have anything marked out on ES at the time. So we'll just play some candles and I'll show you what I took exactly. So on the 5-minute time frame, we'll speed through this. Play candles, we have ES here as well. Let's see, 6:30. Okay, so we'll play through some 5-minute candles. This is the 5-minute time frame. As you can see, we pump down. If you look actually at market open, you can see right at market open we pump down a little bit, but there's no draw on liquidity lower, and we take out this low, range low right here. This is our range low right there. And after taking out that draw on liquidity and no draw on liquidity being lower, I scale out to the 5-minute time frame to see what exactly price is doing. And you can see if you replay to right here, we leave a big wick. We leave this big 5-minute wick right here, showing rejection from this range low right here. And you can expect some sort of rebalance into this 5-minute gap with this sort of closure. But since we are within this range, I wasn't looking to take any trades within this range. Same with ES. We start rejecting and we can go into that daily or into that 1-hour fair value gap that I marked out. So continue to play more candles. You see that we tap into this right here. Now that we're in this 1-hour fair value gap that I marked out, we can expect maybe this to hold, or we just start to chop around. But after this, I'm not really expecting anything else, and I just want to see what price is doing. So after this, I see that we start getting nice displacement on the 5-minute time frame. This is nice because we're tapped into this 1-hour gap right here, and we're showing nice volume towards the downside. But like I said, NQ didn't really have any drawn liquidities lower. But looking at ES, going to the 4-hour time frame, if you take a look right here, we'll this 4-hour right here, this candle on ES, we can actually remove NQ for now. Looking at ES, this 4-hour candle wasn't here yet. We actually had this 4-hour, nice 4-hour low right here. If I can mark it out correctly, right here. So we had this 4-hour low right here, which was a very nice draw on liquidity. Compared to NQ, there's no, taking a look at your left, there's no nice draw on liquidity on NQ. So this is why I like trading both pairs. I mainly focus on NQ, but if there's something on ES that's nice, there's a nice setup forming, I'll take a trade on ES. So knowing that there's this 4-hour external drawn liquidity, I always like to target external drawn liquidities. Looking at the 1-hour time frame, let's go back to market open, or right here before that gets taken. So going back to the 5-minute time frame, this is where we were at. You can see that we're getting nice displacement down towards that drawn liquidity that I have marked out at this line right here. So knowing that there's nice volume down, nice displacement, nice full 5-minute candles going down, I'm looking for a trade towards this draw liquidity. So we can scale down to the 1-minute time frame, and as you can see, there is a big form of liquidity right here on this 1-hour time frame. Okay, this gets a little bit annoying at sometimes while replaying this 5-minute time frame. Okay, so right here, this is our 1-hour low right here. Let me mark it out. This is a 1-hour low, which I consider pretty big liquidity point. So if this gets taken right here, that could act as a liquidity sweep to go higher. So this is why I consider my trade a eval trade, just because it is a little bit risky. Because if you take a look, you can see that we take this liquidity point right here. So based off of this, I'm not sure if price wants to continue lower. I would rather see a push blow past it and then see some sort of retrace below it and then continuation lower to this drawn liquidity where I can take a trade something like this and get a nice one-to-one. But that's not what happens. Price does not blow past this drawn liquidity, this 1 hour low. We actually show some signs of rejection. This candle right here, this 1 minute right here, could be a sign of rejection. And what do? Just because it's a 4 hour external drawn liquidity, just because the higher time frame is very bearish. Looking at the higher time frame right here, look at this 4 hour candle closure right here. This is a very strong candle closure. You can expect price to continue lower to this draw on liquidity right here. So just knowing that the higher time frame is very bearish, I'm willing to take the chance to take a trade bearish towards this draw on liquidity. That is why draw on liquidity is so important. Coming back to the 1 minute time frame right here, I got a bar replay again. So knowing that price is very, very bearish, seeing nice displacement on the 5 minute, knowing that there's a good chance that this draw on liquidity gets taken, I take a trade right here. I actually take a mid candle entry right here. And I have my stop loss just above these body close right here, above these highs. And I'm looking to target this right here for a nice 1 to 1.25. And I actually extend my TP just because I want to trail my stop loss and try to maximize as much profit as I can. So I just don't really have a take profit really, but if you want to take a base hit, you can target this right here. So the only reason I don't think this is a very good XFID trade and more of an eval trade is just because we just took out a big form of liquidity right here, and there's a chance that we can reject off of it. On top of that, there's not a very good break-even point. I like to go break-even at internal lows. Where's our internal low? Our internal low is right here. This is our internal low, and that is where I would have gone break-even. But as you can see, we don't get a very nice retrace and continuation lower where I can take an entry, something like this, all the way up here, where I can have a stop loss all the way up here and then go break-even at this internal low. I'm taking a trade once that internal low is already taken, which is very risky because you essentially don't have a break-even point. You don't really know when to go break-even. So in this trade, you can't really go break-even since we already surpassed that internal low, and that was something I was willing to take just because I'm trying to get these evals passed, and I don't really care if my XFAs get blown or not because I already took my payouts from these set of accounts. So I take this trade right here, as you can see on ES right here, had my execution, and then you can see I was taken out right here. So take this trade, and you can see TP gets taken out right there, and once this gets taken out right here, I trail my stop loss all the way right here. I trail my stop loss right here, and that's where I get trailed out. And then yeah, that was sort of the trade that I took today. A little bit more riskier trade, but this shows why drawn liquidity is so important. Just because there's no drawn liquidity on NQ really, you can see that there's a nice drawn liquidity on ES right here, and you can see that the higher time frame is bearish. You always want to trade with the higher time frame because the trend is your friend. So that was a trade I took today. I hope you guys learned something from this video, and if you haven't already, go check out my new series, the JR Trading Academy. I'm going to be dropping a lot of sauce, and if you're a complete beginner, didn't understand anything that I was talking about in this video, make sure you go start on that series because I'm going to teach everything you need to know on that series to learn how to start day trading. So I appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate if you made it to the end. Subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you like the video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.